Sign language is the fourth most popular language in the entire world, and the importance of learning it amongst hearing people is often unaccounted for. And I know the importance of sign language because I myself know sign language. I know 3 branches of it. I am self-taught by internet classes as well as deaf friends and family. And most people don't realize the importance of it. And I am certified to teach local lessons as well as interpreting local events, and I have about 4 to 5 years of experience under my belt. So today I wanted to give you a little demonstration of how you could begin learning sign language. So why is this important to you? You are all young adults, and most of us are probably going into a work field or college of some sort, I am hoping. And with over 35 million people just in the United States being on some part of the deafness spectrum, it is very common that you might run into this circumstance somehow, some way. And communication barriers are a huge problem, especially in America. So by learning a few simple signs, hopefully you are able to communicate if necessary. Also, if you're going into college, it is very helpful to meet new people who are a little bit different than you. Whether or not you consider this a disability or not, you need to communicate with them. And it's very important to be inclusive. So expanding your social circle is another benefit. And lastly, if you can say that you know a little bit of sign language on your resume, that's going to be very attractive to people looking to hire you. So let's look at the different branches of sign language. There are hundreds, over 300 different types of sign language. And common misconception is that the only branch of sign language is ASL, but that means American Sign Language for a reason. It is only common in America. And although it is English signs, if you go somewhere like Europe, there's going to be British Sign Language, and there's going to be Spanish Sign Language elsewhere. So it's very regional. For the sake of today, we are going to worry about ASL and PSE only. ASL, what is it? American Sign Language. You use hand movements and finger spelling to portray how you talk. Now, ASL is a little bit tricky. It's kind of like Spanish. Most of you know that Spanish syntax, you can't directly translate those words to English because it's not going to make any sense at all. The words are going to be jumbled up. Same way with ASL. That's why we're going to focus on PSE, Pidgin Signed English. This is when you take ASL words and put them in the order of which people speak in English. So in ASL, when I would say, Nadia, my name, that makes no sense. But in PSE, I would say, my name is Nadia. That makes sense. So PSE is normally for people who could hear and talk at one point who transition into deafness. People will typically speak PSE. But if you're deaf your whole life, ASL is commonly your first known language. So if you know ASL, if a deaf person knows ASL and you speak in PSE, they're going to know what you're saying. So now that we know the branches that we're going to make our focal point, let's bring our attention to sign language and finger spelling. What I just did there was spelling my name, individual letters. This is what you do when you have proper nouns. So when you have hand movements, like if I was saying the word sign language, I'm not spelling that out because it's a word. But a proper noun like a country, America, I'm going to spell that out because it's proper and you don't want to misinterpret it that way. So now that we know the basics of sign language, let's put a sentence together. It is very important, especially if you talk to somebody that is in emergency services, for example, it is crucial that they learn help or that they know safety. Because if somebody comes up and there's a car wreck, they need to recognize emergency signs. It is literally required for law enforcement. So let's just learn a simple sentence. I'm going to have you guys do it with me because it's really simple. So we're going to say, hello, nice to meet you. What is your name? Super easy sentence. So the first sign is hello. All you do is you touch your head and wave your hand out. It means, hey, hi, hello. Simple wave, very easy. Anybody can do that. And then for nice, you're going to make your hands flat like this and just move the top one across. This means nice. And then for small words like to and is or, those don't have signs because you just need the main idea of the sentence. It's kind of tricky. So there is no sign for to, but they're obviously going to understand what you're saying. If you say, nice to meet you, they're going to know what that means. So meet is when you take 2 little finger people and you put them together. Yep, meet, super easy, and then you. So hello, nice to meet you. And then you take a brief pause for a comma, and you say, what? Just like you're asking a question. What is your name? You take 2 fingers. This derives from the letter N in sign language, which is 2 fingers over the thumb. You put 2 and 2 together, and you tap them. Name. Yes. And so it's very important that in ASL or in any branch of sign language that you convey that you're asking a question with facial expressions or by using a question mark. A question mark is when you point to the person you're asking the question and you just move your finger. So that way they know you're asking a question and you're not making a demand or a statement. And generally, if you're asking a question or you're directing at someone, you will lean towards them. It's all in the face, like the eye contact and the body movements. So let's try the entire sentence a little bit slower. Hello, nice to meet you. What is your name? And then generally at the end, you'll just add a question mark. So whether or not you go forward and you learn any more sign language or just go far enough to learn the alphabet or maybe even go further to become an interpreter, that's completely up to you. But I personally believe that it is very important that you pursue your knowledge further, because not only will it help you in an emergency situation if that comes up, or you can expand your social circle or just be attractive on a resume. Thank you for signing with me today.